Welcome to the Fantasy Champions Fantasy Football Podcast. Here's your host, Morgan Colby and Rick Lemon.
What's going on, Fantasy Champs?
What's up? What's up?
My name's Morgan Colby. I got Rick Lemon with me as always. I'm pretty pissed off this week.
Yep. Tell the audience why.
I was watching football on Sunday, and my team got their pants ripped off by a team that's not much better than them. And
Patriots.
I mean, it's already depressing, but I got DJ Moore on Thursday night. And when you get 49 points on Thursday night, you're thinking, this is
Week's
it.
over.
I'm going to roll.
Yep.
I lost somehow. And I didn't play. I didn't face Jamar Chase either. So don't say it was Jamar Chase. I didn't face Jamar Chase.
Nope.
So back to the drawing board. Unless I get, we're recording this on a Monday as a reminder, unless I get 52 fantasy points or just 51 from Josh Jacobs, I'll catch a dub this week.
You know, he had a game last year with 48.
Yes, don't tell me about it.
I'll be honest with you. He's not getting 52.
No, he's not. I can get 51 and get away with it, but
I could see him getting like a 40-point game. Maybe.
If he gets up to like 40 points and I
scenario.
just needed like Anthony Richardson to hold on for 5 more minutes,
yeah.
I'm done. I think I'm going to just
Is the Packers matchup a good one for Jacobs?
Yeah, that's all right.
I could see him getting 20. I don't know about 52.
But I faced Tyreek Hill, and George Pickens decided to
Go crazy.
play. Did you see that clip, by
He
the
had
way?
someone in his lineup that didn't even play. He literally started T. Higgins.
Yeah, it's taken out. And I also had a zero burger with Hunter Henry, so...
Yeah. Hey, welcome to my life.
Losing games you should be winning?
Week. Jordan Addison had 0 last week, and I started him.
Oh my god. Fantasy football hurts sometimes. This year I felt this weird in our league too, by the way, because I feel like there's been some monster performances. Not just like full team ones. I mean like monster like single player performances, individual performances. And the team that has that player loses.
Yeah.
That's happened multiple times in our league and I can't figure it out. So I'm disappointed this week, but hey, you gotta get back on the train. 3-2. Time to get back on the train.
3-2 is not bad. You're in a good spot.
You're
in a good spot. You're in a better spot than me. 2-3.
You won? I thought you lost.
No, I won.
Oh, good. Good for you, bud. All right, keep yourself alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I need to play you in the playoffs. I need a like we.
No, if I lost this week, dude, I'd be very depressed.
Yeah,
that's all I'd say.
So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed your week. Hopefully you enjoyed some of these monstrous performances that we got this week. It is the end of week 5. We come to the end and the completion of another week of the NFL season. And I got to say, when your team is losing, it is hard. I'm just going to start watching the other games because I have more fun watching them than I do watching whatever that was.
You know, I actually do have more fun watching the other games. The last couple weeks, at least.
Yeah. Yep. Now the last couple. Man. You mean the whole season?
Yeah. Well, the first week was pretty entertaining.
Was it?
I thought so. Eagles
losing
Patriots.
What 16-0?
Well, they made a comeback.
First quarter wasn't. It was Tom Brady. His presence there.
I'm gonna be honest though, that really was the only entertaining game because I didn't really watch the Dolphins Patriots game live.
Watch it, yeah.
And then the Jets game was boring and brutal. They won at least though, and then the Cowboys and Saints. So
you can laugh at us now, guys. We laughed at you for so long. We deserve it.
Enjoy it.
We deserve it. Enjoy it well.
Until we get Caleb Williams.
Oh boy. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna break down what happened this week in fantasy football. Talk a little bit about week 5 and the booms and the busts, and then we'll talk about some waiver wire pickups, send you on your merry way. And then we also got on, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, we'll release a show pertaining to the Thursday night football game. So it'll be
Yes,
fun.
sir.
Sorry, I was yawning. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, or any other podcast platforms, please leave a review. Share the podcast with your friends. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, like and comment down below. And you can also follow us on all social media platforms and check out our website, fantasyjammies.com. That's all the intro stuff, by the way. I just jumped into it and didn't say anything after my yawn. If I still sound sick, it's because I'm not. I don't know whatever this you have illnesses that last a month.
It don't last a month. What you're doing right now is usually what I get. I'll get sick for close to a week, which is already kind of insane. I'll get sick for 5 days, 5 or 6 days.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a stuffy nose for the rest of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll feel fine.
I've also been straight afraid of going to the gym because I'm sniffling and making all kinds of noises, and then people are going to be like, ugh, clean your equipment. Ugh. Whatever, dude.
When you feel fine, you should be good.
I should go get a 1-day gym membership at Planet Litness and just go sneeze on the equipment and leave.
That's kind of messed up, dude. Don't hate on the Planet Litness crew. $9.99 a month.
$9.99 a month. Oh boy.
Hey, in this day and age, I'll take it.
If you pay extra for the black card, you'll get massages too.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, my
I'm
gym
not doing that crap.
My gym doesn't have that. I'll tell you that much.
See, Planet Litness, don't hate.
Anyway,
all right, we should talk about fantasy football.
Yeah, we should talk about fantasy football. Oh, it's only been 7 minutes. All right. Quarterback booms and busts. We'll talk about all the booms and busts. We'll start with the quarterback position. And by the way, Rick, I have a trade negotiation I have to talk to you about after this show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so let's talk about the quarterbacks. Fields, Thursday Night Football, 33 fantasy points. He bike?
He bike?
Yeah, he back.
He dick?
He back, eh?
Who dat?
Justin Fields.
Yes, sir.
How many points did you have last week?
Remember after week 3 and I said I'm out on him, I'm out on the Bears, I'm good. I'm ignoring that.
Yeah.
I really regret saying that because if I had any faith like you still did, we would have made our trade and I would have had DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad you didn't have any faith. I didn't necessarily have faith in the Bears. I still trusted in Justin Fields because I literally said on this show, Justin Fields did this last year.
Yeah, but I thought last year it was just because he was in year 2 and it's a young quarterback kind of still finding his way. This was year 3. He's been in the system 2 years and he started slow.
Their offensive coordinator is Luke Getsy, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, Luke Getsy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what the situation was. I don't know why he starts off so freaking slow, but he's turned it around now, and he cooked. He cooked on Thursday Night Football, 33 fantasy points, tossing a bunch of tutties to DJ Moore. Number 2, Josh Allen, he had 28.8. So this week is the week of the guys who actually freaking showed up because Josh Allen had 28.8, Jalen Hurts had 28.3, and I just wanted to pull
These are the guys.
So these are
hey, now that we're through 5 weeks of the season too,
yeah.
Remember how we were Mac Jones after week 1 and who else was there? There was some guys that were out of the blue. You know who the top 3 quarterbacks in fantasy are through 5 weeks now? Kirk Cousins was QB1 for the first 4 weeks. But you know who the top 3 quarterbacks are now?
Fields, Hurts, Allen. Rush, and Rush.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're back to normal. This is what we expected. The top 8 guys minus
yeah, and this is why every once in a while you're going to get Patty Jacks throwing a bunch of touchdowns and moving himself up in the fantasy on the fantasy.
I mean, you could look at Jared Goff was QB4, Sam Howell was QB5, Ritter was QB6, so it's still going to happen, but
yeah, but to me when you look at this the top 5 through 5 weeks of the NFL season, Josh Allen, Hurts, Fields, Cousins, Tua. So it's you can still sneak those pocket passers, and I consider Patrick Mahomes a pocket passer because he doesn't have a lot of rushing floor. You can cluster them into that, but the rushing guys still make up, I want to say, four of the top 10, and they're still the Kings in terms of being at the top of the list. So, you got to get those guys that like to rush football. And I honestly think if Anthony Richardson was healthy,
Yeah. He would be in the conversation.
He'd be in the conversation.
I don't think he'd be top 3, but he would be like top 10 for sure.
But yeah, but this particular week, some of the better quarterbacks in fantasy football that we like got back to where they needed to be. As far as busts, Anthony Richardson 4.4 keeps getting hurt.
Yeah, not his fault.
Yeah, it's not his fault he had that. But there is a larger question that I think you can have that kind of circles around like, how many weeks can you continue doing this? Because this is the second time that he has had to leave a game that, like, I mean, he scored 17 points last time before he got the concussion, but if he keeps getting hurt, like, how long can we continue rolling this guy out on a week-to-week basis, hoping that he stays healthy?
It's hard. It's definitely hard to trust him. I do think like he's a rookie quarterback who plays like Josh Allen in the sense of like he doesn't slide. Yeah. When he runs, he's like
truck guys.
Yeah, and it's like I think somebody, especially in the Colts organization, is going to be like, "Hey, dude, you're going to have to start going down. You're going to have to start sliding." So I don't think the injuries are going to stay with him unless he keeps playing this style.
Yeah, when
he runs. So I think it'll be okay, but in this very short term, like I don't know if I would fully trust him.
Yeah. Dak Prescott had 7.3 points on the season. He's QB 21. He's had 6. Well, this isn't a 5-point touchdown league, but I'll just try to adjust the numbers as I see.
7.3.
He had 7.3 this week. I already did that. I was trying to figure out what his week-to-week numbers were. Hold on, let me find Dak
he's
attack.
QB 21.
6,
14, 15, 19, 6.
Yeah, he had 6, 19, 15, 14, and 7. So he's kind of like toast to me at this point. Like he's a streaming option.
Yeah.
And people are going to continue rolling him out on a week-to-week basis and getting burned. I think you should start trying to find another solution if you don't want to stream quarterbacks, because I don't think Dak is going to be that dude. Lamar Jackson had 10.9 this week. Dude is like I don't know what to do with Lamar Jackson, to be honest with you. Like he is QB9 on the season, so he hasn't completely sucked. But he had 7, 22,
he had 3
28,
straight
28,
weeks.
10. But he did the same thing last year. He had 3 straight weeks, 4 straight weeks last year. It's just like
I know.
How what do we do with Lamar Jackson? I mean, he's one of those dudes that you're gonna have to hope that has a big week, But if he doesn't,
those games where he has bad games, he just has bad games. That's the problem with Lamar. Right. This week, did you see the compilation that was going around with the Ravens this week? That's what happens when you're trusting Nelson Aguilar, by the way.
Oh my God, Nelson!
And you sign Odell knowing that he's a walking.
Patriots suck eggs, but I'd rather not have that dude.
Yeah, and even Zay's been really, really good this year, but this week he had like 2 drops, and it's it was just kind of all happened at once.
Yeah, so I like Lamar. You got to keep rolling him out. He is one of those rushing quarterbacks, but they're trying too much passing the ball. I think they need to go back to what Lamar knows. Let's move to the running back booms. We have Travis Etienne with 36.4 fantasy points this week. I played him.
Dude, it's funny because I texted you during the game.
This is almost every time you say this. For early in games, you send me texts about players. This guy stinks.
Well, no. It wasn't just because he wasn't doing well early in the game. Before this week, he was averaging 3.6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
And then he got off to a bad start this week, and I was like, man, he's just not running the ball well at all. And then the second half of the game, he got 2 touchdowns. So I was like, okay.
Yeah. So he's fine. Zach Moss had 33.5.
That one was what?
Yeah, he had a break-off touchdown, and I think they're just still trying to get JT in the groove.
They definitely were easing JT in.
Yeah, so I don't think Zach Moss continues to be that guy. I laughed because my brother, who has been he's having trouble with his week-to-week lineup decisions, and every week I watch him struggle to make these decisions and then just laugh because he gets
to be fair to him,
mad. He was
I wouldn't have started Zach Moss.
He's it's totally fair, but he's every time he benches a player, that player goes off, and then he's I took him out of my line. What the heck? And I'm bro, you need to chill out. Maybe get rid of some guys that you would you have to make decisions on, because the more decisions you have to make, the more pissed off you're going to be.
Right.
Breece Hall, 28.4. So
my start of the week at running back.
Breece is back. We told you to trade for him.
Yeah, he was on our bye. Was he this week or last week? He was on our bye show
last week. But yeah.
So we told him to trade for you, and this week he was start of the week at
running back. I tried. Almost got him for a cheap deal too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Should have done it.
Well, no, I wasn't me. It was him. He kind of backed out at the last second. So.
Well, you should have upped the offer.
Well, see, there's always that thought in the back of your mind. Like, what if he doesn't actually?
That's true.
I don't even know what the offer was. I can't remember. But anyway, RB busts. We have Miles Sanders with 1. So he cannot be started at this point. I don't like this.
No, he's done.
2 bust weeks in a row. Jonathan Taylor, 4.4. He was eased back in. And then we had Najee Harris with 5, and he just blows. In fact, I think Matt Cannon is a big idiot. You see the video?
Oh, yeah. The context of it, too, is tough because Kenny Pickett audibled. He changed the play, and they scored a touchdown, and then he was, like, pissed in the booth.
It was a touchdown.
I don't know if that was him actually being pissed, though, or if he was just trying to, like, be the cool coach that, like, doesn't react.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's a dink.
I don't know. Either way, it's,
not cool. He's kind of a joke. There was another clip that was floating around the internet too. I don't know if you saw this one. I think I retweeted it. But after last week's win, Pittsburgh was like going to the locker room, and Canada came down from the booth. Matt Canada, their offensive coordinator, and he was celebrating with one of the coach's staff. Went in, and their kicker, Chris Boswell, screams out right behind him, "Don't celebrate! It wasn't you, kid."
Oh my gosh.
I saw that video clip of the kicker, and I was like, you know what? I agree with you, Chris. This football team is not good on offense because of that man.
I agree with him too, but like you're the kicker too.
The one dude that actually can call somebody
who gave him that kind of confidence
he
to say that to a coach.
Did Boswell kick the game-winning field goal? Is that what...
Can I give you another bust?
Go ahead.
Ramondre, 2 points.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I totally zoomed by that because I just put my blinders on the pass.
Look at the dead zone running back that we always talk about.
Yep.
Kind of hit again this year. Najee Harris, 3rd round.
Yep.
Ramondre, 3rd round.
Yep.
Who else was going in that range?
Miles Sanders, I think.
I know Miles Sanders was a little later. He was like 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
But not a lot of appealing
that round typically does not like, and this is why getting running backs at least one
Gibbs
earlier,
too.
Yep. Getting one at least a little bit earlier helps.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. The 3rd round is definitely a dead zone for running backs. You know what I mean? You got to keep your eye out for that. But anyway, there's your bust at running back.
There was a lot of busts at running backs just looking at the points.
Isn't it crazy?
A lot of guys didn't have good weeks.
We had wide receiver booms. Jamar Chase, 52.2. I apologize if you played Jamar Chase this week.
We put him. He was our number 1 buy.
Imagine if somebody with DJ Moore and Jamar Chase together scored.
You know what's funny? I think I have a best ball team or 2 with Jamar Chase and DJ Moore. So. Good week for best ball for me.
Yeah, DJ Moore had 49. He scored 3 touchdowns. He actually had another touchdown that they blew dead because he stepped out of bounds, and he didn't actually step out of bounds.
I did see one screenshot though that looked like he was out of bounds. Somebody put like a.
But even he said he was on the sidelines and he was saying that he had 4 touchdowns and not 3. So, but if that happened, he would have had a monster day.
Which would have been insane.
That touchdown, I don't know if he would have scored the 3rd touchdown at the end of the game had they scored this one, because they probably would have been in a clean blowout. But if he scored that touchdown, it was like a 50-yard touchdown pass. That would have been 11 more fantasy points on top of what he had.
Yeah,
he would have had
which
60.
is unreal. But then again, if he scores there,
That's what I'm saying.
Does the last touchdown happen?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. So like, I don't know, but either way,
yeah.
DJ Moore had an awesome week, and then Tyreek Hill, wide receiver 1 on the season right now.
Yep.
If a team is sleeping on Tyreek, which they're probably not, I'd try to trade for him. He's having one of those seasons.
Good luck with that.
He's having one of those seasons, dude. So Tyreek, the streak, fantastic. Devonta Smith was the top bust of the week with 1.6 fantasy points. I'm kind of getting frustrated with the Eagles, not going to lie, because a couple weeks ago, A.J. Brown had a temper tantrum on the sidelines. Now, the Eagles are still winning football games, so they're not really going to change their approach, but he had a temper tantrum on the sidelines, and since then, The target share has shifted. It was split down the middle, and now it goes to A.J. Brown.
This is what it was last year. This is what happened. So A.J. Brown would go through like a couple weeks where he was dominating, and then he'd have a couple weeks where he'd get like 5 or 6 points, and then Devontae Smith would get 20. It's rare for them both to get like 20 plus in the same week.
A.J. Brown is feeling it right now. He had a play in the game where he's in the end zone, and you could see from him. I was watching the football game. You could see from a mile away that they were going to throw a end zone fade. The second they snapped the ball, I was like, end zone fade to A.J. Brown. Snapped it, looks directly in that direction, fades it to A.J. Brown.
Ready.
It was not a touchdown, no. But the cornerback pulled A.J. Brown to the ground because he was about to catch the football. So it was pass interference. He gets up and just flexes on the guy while he's on the ground. I was like, he didn't even catch a touchdown. He just got pass interference. This dude's flexing on guys. Oh, man.
That's funny.
Yeah, but Devonta Smith is it doesn't concern me because he's going to have weeks like this because he is the number 2. So I'm not like concerned about it because I still think he's a wide receiver 1 or at least top 15. And that's what you're, getting with Devonta Smith. But it's just frustrating to watch when like they seem to force feed guys when they're upset. And it's like, just why don't you get it to the open guy? You have 2 very good receivers. You don't need to force feed it to one.
Yeah, but even if he didn't get upset, like that is kind of that's the way it is with Eagles receivers. That's what you sign up for. You get like the big weeks, and then you get a couple down weeks. Like it's just always up and down with those guys.
Number 2 was Justin Jefferson, 5.8. He did get hurt in the game, so just keep an eye on that. Nico Collins had 6.9. So dude,
I swear I have him in a dynasty league.
Yep.
I've only started him 2 weeks. It was week 3 and week 5.
In the weeks
that he 5 and 6.
Right now he's been off and on. Now Tank Dell did suffer an injury, so I think at some point, like Nico is probably just going to be the main guy. But he needs to have less variety in the performances that he's putting on the field. All right.
Yeah.
Tight end booms. We had George Kittle with 27.7. So there's that one October game that he gets everyone to buy right back in. But he's been absolute bud all season. Dallas Goedert.
That's George Kittle.
Dallas Goedert had 25.7, so he's finally back. And then Travis Kelce had 22.7, got hurt, came back, caught a touchdown. I don't know what drugs they're using over there in KC, but it keeps Kelce and Mahomes on the field long enough.
Yeah.
Tight end. There was a lot of really good tight end performances this week, like the tight end 15.
And this was a weird tight end week. They actually showed up.
The tight end 15 had like 10 points. So, like, if there's a tight end with 10 points, and they're a bust, I don't know what to tell you. But anyway, I put 3 on this list. You may or may not have started them, but Hunter Henry, I started. He had 0 points. Evan Ingram had 6.8 this week.
Yeah.
In London. And I think we might have even had him as a start this week. So that was obviously disappointing. And then Dalton Kincaid with 3.9. I could also say / Knox, but I think a majority of people are just starting Kincaid.
Kincaid at this point is probably not. I think going forward, until something changes, should not be in your starting lineup. And even if you drafted him as a top 12 tight end.
To be completely honest with you, I know people are excited about Kincaid when he got drafted because he's one of the best tight ends in the class and he's super talented. And I still think that in the next 1-2 seasons he'll be really good. But I just don't think Josh Allen throws it like he does. He's not a guy that throws it to the tight end position consistently. You know what he throws it to? He throws it to Stefon Diggs consistently, and then whoever happens to be open on the week, whether it's Gabe Davis, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox,
the other problem is
Hardy, whoever
Knox
it may be.
and Kincaid are both out there. So, like, if he does throw to a tight end, like this week, Knox had 6 targets.
Yeah.
Kincaid had 2. If it was one tight end, that's an 8-target game.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we'll see what happens with Kincaid in the future, but for fantasy football, he's kind of done. I think there's one rookie tight end that might actually shatter all expectations at the rookie position, and for the tight end position with rookies, it's Sam Laporta.
He's the tight end 1 on the season now.
He is a top 5 rest of season ranked tight end too. So, who knows? Maybe that's my solution at tight end. I struck out majorly at the tight end position. I'm in the market.
Oh, Laporte. Good luck getting him.
This is what he's gonna see, that he's number one. People in our league are too smart for me to snipe him.
Yeah.
I wish he wasn't drafted. Who drafted him?
Was it Luke? I think.
Ah.
Yeah. You're not getting him. He was his darling.
God. Anyway,
his off-season darling.
Any other thoughts on the week?
No, I think we can move on here.
Okay, let's talk about the waiver wire rankings for week 6. I'm gonna start with the quarterback position, which is just not fun. How many weeks, by the way, is Josh Dobbs going to be okay?
I think rest of the season, maybe.
What do we do with Dobbs? I mean, this is a weird situation.
Well, he had 10 points this week, so it's not.
I will say, with the Cardinals continuing to be okay,
competitive,
they gotta let Kyler play at some point.
Yeah,
that's the difference for them, right?
It probably is. But the last report I saw was that he's not. He wasn't close to being ready.
Yeah.
So, but that was a couple weeks ago, so who knows?
But after the week 1 calamity for Josh Dobbs, he had 26, 18, 25, and then he had 12 this week against Cincinnati. Did throw 2 picks.
That's 2-point touchdown or 6-point touchdown.
Jeez, dude. I got to stop with this. Yeah,
yeah,
so...
I mean, still good, though. 25, 17,
yeah,
23, and then 10 this week.
Against easier matchups, he might...
He's a stream. I'll give you that.
Who does he play this week?
Rams.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm good with that. It might be all right, but I don't know. That's a divisional matchup, no?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as far as the quarterback position, I'm not entirely sure where to go with this. You got any guys?
Well, I'll give you a guy. I don't like him this week, and then he's on a bye. So I mean,
there you go,
that with what you want. But
yeah,
if he's available in your league, I'll pick up C.J. Stroud. He's been he's on pace right now to have the best rookie season of all time outside of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Stroud's been crazy good.
But he has the Saints this week, so, and then he's on a bye.
Yeah, I just don't know, at the quarterback position, it's been tough because there's a lot of guys like Rick likes Sam Howell, but he kind of sucks. And there's other guys
whoa.
Right? There's guys like Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. Those are pocket passers, so you're going to need a 250 and 2-3 touchdown game from them in order to have success. It's the same thing with Minshew and Jimmy Garoppolo. So, and then you also have this big game from Desmond Ridder this week. He had 27 fantasy points, 329 yards and a touchdown. He also had a rushing touchdown.
He actually
to that.
That was easily his best game of his career.
But he usually has these 20-point games when he scores a rushing touchdown, which, I don't anticipate happening regularly. He is playing Washington this week, so if you are a desperate streamer, Ridder might be an option, but the quarterback position right now is just, it's abysmal.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we were wrong about a couple of the guys, but we were right in the idea of you still needed to draft a quarterback relatively high because there wasn't anyone this year who was outside of C.J. Stroud, apparently. He's the only one that was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Have a great
season. And I'm even thinking in years past you've been able to stream. And right now I just don't feel like you can stream.
I think you can.
I feel like that would be
you're not going to be able to stream top 5 performances, but you could stream 20-point weeks. I think.
What about Geno coming off the bye against Cincinnati?
Is Cincinnati, is that a good matchup? I don't think it is.
It's mid.
I mean, maybe
because he was a guy that
he's okay.
Good. Yeah. We're struggle bus in the quarterback.
I mean, personally, I know you think he sucks and he's the worst quarterback in the league. I like Sam Howell. I think he's okay. God, he's got rushing upside. He has 100 rushing yards this year.
Up for Howell.
What's up?
I said you are lubed up for Howell.
I'm not lubed up for him, bro, but he's not awful. Okay, he's not. He had the Bills game.
He is QB 14.
Where he sucked. You take the Bills game out, and he's been pretty good this year. and he has rushing upside. If he has good matchups, he's a very good start. If he has a bad matchup, stay away from him with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's talk about some running backs. So there are a plurality of injuries to the Chicago backfield this week. They had Khalil Herbert kind of hurt his leg in the Thursday night football game. And
he had a high ankle sprain,
and then,
so he's out I think 2 to 3 weeks or something like that.
So I think for me, the main ad this week would be Roschon Johnson, and he's owned in 39% of leagues right now, but he did suffer a concussion in the game, I believe, and he had to leave, but it was on Thursday night, so there's like a 10-day window for him to kind of clear concussion protocol and actually participate in this game. If he's cleared and he's ready to go, he's going to be the guy in the backfield for the Bears, and if they continue playing the way that they did last week, this week, there's going to be opportunity for Roschon to have success in fantasy football, so he might even be startable this week. But if Herbert misses 3-4 weeks, getting Roschon on your team is going to be helpful. So I would snag him up now while you have the opportunity.
Yeah, Roschon to me is definitely the number one ad. I think with the concussion, definitely he needs to get cleared, needs to play. But if he's out there versus Minnesota, they'll probably use Foreman again. But Roschon's going to get like 15 to 20 touches. So if you're in a pinch, he's definitely a good play. He'll probably be even a good flex play because it's against Minnesota. So it's not like it's a bad matchup either. So at this point in the season, it's kind of rare to be able to pick up a running back and just plug him in your lineup for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I think you could do that with Johnson and feel okay about it. I think outside of that, it gets really, really gross.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens running back room is like pick your poison. I think Justice Hill had an okay week this week, but I know a couple weeks ago Gus Edwards was the guy. So they split in the backfield, but Justice Hill had a touchdown and target, so he had more fantasy points. It's kind of gross because that's a 50-50 split pretty much, and then they sprinkle in like Kenyon Drake. But if you are going to pick anyone in that backfield, it's probably Justice Hill for his receiving.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of gross.
I like Baltimore. I've checked out ever since
Dobbins.
Who was it? Who's before Dobbins and all of them? They had like a big running back, didn't they? No, they didn't.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, it was Dobbins.
Are you talking about
oh my God, my brain just turned off. It is J.K. Dobbins. For the last couple of years, Dobbins goes in, he's the guy, and then he gets hurt, and then it's like everyone runs to the waiver wire and picks up Justice Hill and Gus Edwards and Melvin Gordon and whoever else happens to be in that backfield. And it's just like it's like no one in that backfield is going to be good. Just accept it. So it's like Dobbins is gone. It's not going to get fixed by one of these backups. It's just not. And I'm like, I agree. I have no interest.
But if you are going to pick up one, I think Hill is probably the one I would take.
Yeah.
But I don't like any of them.
Another guy? Oh, man. I said this last week, and I'll continue saying it. Tajay Spears, 25.6%
this is
owned in leagues.
Every single week.
I've said this almost every single week, but this dude had
since week 1.
He had 16 this week, quietly. 7 carries, 34 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 5 targets, 4 catches, 35 yards. He's had 4 or more targets in 4 of the last 5 games. So he's getting pass catching work out of the backfield. If something were to happen to Derrick Henry, this guy will become the RB1, and he's been efficient with his opportunities. He's averaging like...
True.
I think he's got 5.7 fantasy point. 5.7 yards per carry right now.
Yep.
So he's not become a startable option yet, but if this leads to more of a split in usage, or because he already has a split in snap percentage, he's leading the backfield in snap percentage. But if something happens to Derrick Henry, they will shift obviously to Tajay Spears, and he's one of those high end. Like Tony Pollard last year with Zeke, he becomes one of those high-end handcuffs that could turn into something. So I would pick up Tajay just on that sheer speculation. But Rick's right. Outside of that, it kind of gets tough for the waiver wire. You just don't have many running backs available. Jerick McKinnon's always like a guy that if you're desperate for a play, he gets some pass catching.
Yeah, he'll get a random touchdown.
Or a random touchdown. So, like, we're getting into the bye weeks now. You know, if there's something going on, like he had 17 week points against Chicago in week 3.
He gets like 4 touches a game.
No, it's freaking ridiculous. So, like, I don't even want him, but there's, like, it's just very leaky out there. The other thing I was gonna mention Kendre Miller, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, probably not, because I mean, I like Kendre Miller for Dynasty because he looked okay. I think he had 13 fantasy points, but Kamara is still there and Jamal Williams is there. So, like, this year he's kind of going to be – he's not even a true handcuff, because if Kamara does get hurt again, like, Jamal Williams and him will just split.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about the wide receivers and some guys need to add. It's actually kind of funny that Quentin Johnston – this is a bye week, right? Yeah.
This is a bye week.
So we told you to pick him up, I think, after week 3 when Mike Williams went down. Or maybe was it last week?
If he's still available, I'd still pick him up.
He had 51% of the snaps, only 2.8 fantasy points, and only 3 targets. So I'd still pick him up if he's available as well, because rookies take some time to kind of get there and develop. But I don't know if he is going to be a guy for Justin Herbert this year. But it's always good to have him just to wait and see. So I like him.
I think, I don't know if he will or won't, because I wasn't like super high on the player for pre-draft. But I will say that, like, if he is going to succeed, it will happen probably in the second half of the season. So just for that alone, I would pick him up.
Yeah. I like Zay Jones too. He caught a touchdown this week.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, he's not bad, because he's been getting, like, when he missed week 3 and 4, but when he's on the field, he gets like 6-7 targets a game. So, like, he's a guy that you can reasonably flex if you have a bye week. And if he's on your waiver wire, you can snag him. And, like, it is annoying to have him, because, like, I've had him like 2 years now, where I just pick him up as my, like, last bench spot. And he gets a lot. Like, I think Trevor Lawrence likes him, but there are moments where he'll have like this week. I think he had 2 touchdown catches, just went in his hands and dropped right out again. And that happens to him for whatever reason. So, but he had 11 points this week, 16 week 1. He had nothing against KC, where he had 6 targets, 0 catches, and then he missed 2 games. So, he's going up against Indy this week. It's one of those games where you could probably stick him in your lineup and play him as like a flex option if you're missing some guys because of eyes.
Yeah.
Is there any other guys on this list?
Not really. I think as a deep play, I don't mind Josh Downs. With Minshew out there, there's not going to be as much running, so there might be more pass attempts.
Yeah, it could be beneficial for him.
And Downs, was Richardson out there for the Ravens game, or was that was Minshew, right?
Yeah, Minshew was out there.
So in that game, Downs had 12 targets. So I like Downs, but I'm not in love with him. But I do like him as a nice little ad this week.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, and he's probably going to be free.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, don't disagree with that. Any other wide receivers?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of gross this week at this position, but. All right, let's go to a grosser position, tight end. Give me one tight end you like.
Well, he was my ad last week. He was my number 1 ad at tight end. And I said it's super disgusting, but Logan Thomas. And then he got 20 fantasy points.
Holy.
So if he's out there, Logan Thomas should be a must pick up, as disgusting as that sounds. Sam Howell does throw to the tight end position a lot. So, Logan Thomas.
Mine is Dalton Schultz. He's back, baby. I don't know if he's back, but last 2 weeks he's had a top 6 tight end performance. He had 10 targets this week, 7 catches for 65 yards and a tutty, and then he had 3 targets, 3 catches the week before, so obviously not as efficient, but he also had a touchdown in that game. As Stroud gets further and further into the season and continues to have really successful performances, it leads me to want more of the weapon share for the Houston Texans,
which is crazy because the last 3 years has been the worst in the league.
It's been gross. But yeah, so he actually becomes a decent ad. Frick me, he's not even available in our league, so there's that. Because why not? Why not carry 2 tight ends per team and 3 quarterbacks per team?
Yeah, because you need depth, bro.
Yeah, I guess. Depth. Whatever, dude.
Hey, if it makes you feel better, I only have 1 quarterback and 1 tight end.
That's crazy. But Schultz is the tight end 12, so he might be a guy that you can add. But I don't know that I would continue like in good matchups. Maybe you start him, and then like just wait to see if he can put together a bunch of high target performances. I'm not even looking for like good fantasy finishes. I'm looking for like high target, like 6-7 targets a game. Because if you can start stringing those together, you know you get opportunity. So I like him. Anyone else at the tight end position?
That's probably it.
Okay. All right. Hey, the waiver wire is gross right now. And this is why you dump early in the season. This is why you dump. You got waiver wire budget left. Use it on your defenses, I guess.
Yeah.
Been interesting. We got Thursday night preview coming up. We'll talk to you later, guys. I'll buy ya.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Fantasy Champions Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and follow us on Twitter @TheFFChamps.